A lot of people are turning to technology solutions like AI girlfriend app or sexting AI apps in order to combat their feelings of loneliness. Loneliness is an unwelcoming feeling caused by lack of companionship. Although a lot of people do not tend to recognize loneliness as a serious concern, it is very important to understand the impact and how extreme the effects of loneliness can be. It is known that nearly 1 in 4 adults worldwide are experiencing loneliness. In this video, let us understand the statistics of loneliness recorded from around the world as in 2024 and how these trends are affecting the behavior of the people. First, let us understand the top facts and the top statistics related to loneliness around the world. 52% of people in United States of America experience loneliness. And 1 in 4 people feel lonely, and among them, most of them are recorded as young adults between the age groups of 18 years to 24 years. So you're wondering which country has the most number of people feeling lonely. It is Brazil, followed by the people in Turkey, which is recorded as 46% of people in Turkey have reported loneliness, followed by India, which is recorded as 43% of people feeling lonely in India. A similar survey has also reported that some countries like Netherlands, Germany, Japan and Russia have the least amount of people feeling lonely. Let us look at the statistics of loneliness in United States of America. Around 52% of Americans have reported feeling lonely, and around 47% of people in America have reported that the relationships are not meaningful. And unfortunately, 57% of people have reported, whether they are in a relationship or single, 57% of people are eating all their meals all alone. Las Vegas, Washington DC and Denver have reported being the 3 most loneliest cities in United States of America. As in compared to the national average, 58% of Americans have reported that sometimes or most of the times no one knows them completely well. 79% of Gen Zs are lonely, 71% of millennials are lonely, 50% of boomers are lonely, and if you take into consideration among men and women, 46% of men have reported being lonely and 45% of women have reported being lonely. Let us look at the loneliness statistics as in compared by race. Is there any difference in the feeling of loneliness if there is or is there any connection of feeling of loneliness among different races? Study done by National Academies of Sciences, Engineering and Medicine suggests that Black Americans are lonely in comparison to white Americans. 44% of Black Americans were reported lonely compared to 37% of white Americans. According to another study conducted by Cigna, it is reported that Hispanic or Latino people have an increased rate of feeling lonely compared to non-Hispanic individuals. Reasons can be due to language barriers, discrimination, lack of social support, or even due to various cultural aspects which is called collectivism, especially found in Asian Americans. According to a study conducted by National Asian American Survey, it was revealed that Asian Americans who tend to face increased chance of feeling lonely. Let us look at whether varying levels of income has any impact on us feeling lonely or not. Various reports have shown that people who tend to earn more money are known to spend more time alone. However, in spite of spending more time alone, people who earn more money have reported less amount of loneliness as in compared to people who earn less amount of money. People who earn less than $40,000 per annum known to feel lonely most of the time in their lives. and people who tend to earn more than $80,000 per annum are known to feel less lonely as in compared to people who earn lesser than that amount of money. Let us look at the statistics of loneliness among parents and people who are not parents. A poll was conducted during the pandemic by KFF Health Tracking to study the negative mental health update of adults, and it was found that adults with children were experiencing more loneliness than people with no children. Others were found to be more prone to mental health issues as in compared to fathers. 65% of parents or guardians have reported the feeling of loneliness as in compared to 55% of non-parents. 42% of parents or guardians have reported a feeling of feeling left out most of the time as in compared to non-parents. And 77% of single parents have been found struggling how to combat this loneliness. 69% of mothers were feeling lonely compared to 62% of fathers feeling lonely. Let us understand whether having proper family connections has any impact on the feeling of loneliness. Obviously, without any surprise, it has been proved that having positive and proper good family relationships has a negative impact on loneliness. That means people with good family relationships tend to report less loneliness, or people who tend to less interact with their family members, or people who tend to be less expressive with their close people are the people who tend to feel lonely and report loneliness most of the time. Let's understand if there is any association between loneliness and a person being physically and mentally ill. Is there an impact how your physical illness or mental illness may be the reason behind loneliness? According to research, people who are suffering from either mental health issues or physical health issues often feel more lonely compared to super healthy individuals. There is a 50 to 70% increase in the chance of feeling lonely among the people who are frequently ill or who are chronically ill or who are already taking medications for any kind of illness, be it physical illness or mental illness. It has been found that 1 in 3 lonely adults are already taking medications for certain kind of mental health issues, be it bipolar, be it for depression, be it for anxiety issues, or be it for schizophrenia or whatever kind of mental health issues. Now let us understand how this loneliness has an impact of the individuals in a workplace. As we have already discussed in a previous video, loneliness can have a major impact in the workplace, like either reducing the performance or people experiencing loneliness are known to be less productive and less creative. And also it has been reported that people who are almost always lonely tend to feel more stressful when it comes to their work. And also people who are always lonely tend to take more sick leaves, tend to feel unhappy and dissatisfied with their work. It has also been reported that around 42% of employees who tend to feel lonely complain that their minds are always wandering or somewhere else rather than focusing on their work they have to do. In this digital age, as loneliness prevails among various age groups, many people are turning to internet for various kinds of connection. One such prevalent activity is called sexting, which can be a double-edged sword. While it may provide a temporary feeling of connection and intimacy among individuals, it is crucial to understand that it is a double-edged sword, and it also has many implications in our mental health and physical health, because we human beings are normally and generally wired for real connections rather than virtual connections. We tend to survive when we connect to each other in person, and we stay socially connected most of the time. A lot of people are also using apps which are called AI girlfriend apps in order to survive this loneliness most of the time. Advancing technology, AI offers many ways to combat loneliness. One such concept is AI girlfriend apps, which tends to stimulate conversational and emotional connections, and is gaining quite popularity these days. However, even though technology tends to provide this kind of temporary feeling of companionship without the complexities of human interactions, there are a lot of side effects related to such kind of apps, ultimately leading to one of the biggest epidemic around the world, which is called loneliness. I hope some of these statistics has helped you to understand the widespread of loneliness around the world, and let's catch up with more interesting facts related to loneliness in my next video. Till then, it's Vani signing off. Take care. Bye.